Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. No availability today or for quite some time, but of course, we're going to follow this defensive coordinator hiring search as well as the special teams coordinator search. Now, we already know that Nick Sorensen could be a candidate to be the special teams coordinator for the 49ers. He is still under contract, as what Kyle Shanahan said on Wednesday. But no news on that. I'm sure they're going to go through all of the protocol. There has to be a minority coach candidate for each hiring. So they'll go through all of the process for that. But there is news for a defensive coordinator. They did conduct two interviews today, which is Thursday. DeShea Townsend, who is the Lions defensive coordinator. So he's actually not the defensive coordinator, he's the defensive passing game coordinator, also DB's coach. He actually played a very long time in the NFL. He played a lot with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was drafted in the fourth round. He's from Alabama. He played one season with the Colts, but 11 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He spent 3 seasons in the top 10 of interceptions. So he's very familiar with what players have to go through to make it as a defender in the league. Obviously, he's been with the Detroit Lions during their really good season. They've played pretty good defense. And, the Lions were without Aiden Hutchinson, and everybody counted them out and thought they weren't going to make it to playoffs. They have had injury after injury. I think the Lions may be the only team or one of the few teams that's more injured than the 49ers were at the end of the season, and they are making it to the playoffs. They are still, kicking, clawing, scratching their way into the postseason. So it is with DeShea Townsend's help on the defense. So they conducted that interview today. Also, Robert Saleh, familiar name, also went through his interview today with the 49ers for the defensive coordinator position. Robert Saleh is still making money from the Jets, so he doesn't need to take a job. I just think that coaches want to take a job as soon as possible because the more time they are away from a team or away from the league, the less likely they'll be hired in the next hiring cycle. So I do think that Robert Saleh is putting his name out there. I know everybody is partial to Robert Saleh and what he did, but before everybody gets completely enamored with the fact, with the idea of Robert Saleh coming back, let's not forget there were 2 years that were really challenging for Robert Saleh. There were people that took the blame. There were some fall guys, and he came out of it and got a head coaching job with the New York Jets. So, first 2 years, very challenging. People were calling for his job. People were calling for him to be fired in 2017 and 2018. 2019 came. D'Amico Ryans became the linebackers coach with Johnny Holland, and I think Johnny Holland might have been on a medical leave on that year, but it was also with the arrival of Nick Bosa. So, as much as I think Robert Saleh is a fantastic coach and I like him as a person, I've obviously interviewed him quite a bit. I've talked to him. He is great with the players. The players love him. But before you think this is the best idea since sliced bread, just remember that there were 2 seasons where it was very challenging for him. So, that being said, another candidate for the defensive coordinator position is probably Brandon Staley. He's the one internal candidate that could be a guy that he's going to be interviewed. I would think Kyle Shanahan said he's going to talk to him about it. I don't know if he's accepted the possibility of being interviewed for that position. Not sure. But the one I'm kind of interested in a little bit more is Jeff Ulbrich. I mean, Jeff Ulbrich is a guy who played for the Niners. Has ties to the Bay Area. He's very close to the organization. You listen to what Kyle Shanahan has said about Jeff Ulbrich, and I think he's a guy that Kyle Shanahan has a ton of respect for. Kyle Shanahan knows what he's getting in Robert Saleh. And, if Robert Saleh is, hey, I just want to be here for a year and I want to go off and, you know, be a head coach again, maybe that's good or maybe that's not good for Kyle Shanahan. I'm not sure. I don't know what Kyle Shanahan's criteria time-wise are for a defensive coordinator. So it could be that Jeff Ulbrich is a guy who wants to be, he had a little taste of being the interim head coach at the Jets. Maybe he liked it, maybe he didn't, but he could be a guy that wants to be a defensive coordinator. for a longer term period than just 1 year to bounce out and be a head coach. This is just me spitballing. So I don't know these things for fact, but it could be a possibility. I'm just kind of throwing things out there. So I'll keep you informed of what other candidates are interviewed. We should hear more throughout the next week or so. And, we'll see what happens with, some of the guys. We'll start posting things about what their off season is going to entail. I do know George Kittle will be at all the Super Bowl activities, probably Debo Samuel as well, probably Christian McCaffrey. These guys all go out via sponsors to, Pro Bowl events to Super Bowl events. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. I do live in Los Angeles and I am safe from the fires. Just so I know you guys all want some personal information along with, all these updates. I am not near the fires, so I do have a friend who lost their house in the fires up in the Palisades. It's dark outside. It is ash was all over my car today when I was out. And when I got in my car to come back home, the air quality is really bad. It's not quite as bad as, what was it, 2020 when the Bay Area was like, it was orange. Not quite that orange, but pretty bad. They don't want anyone exercising outside. There was a lot of ash. This morning, the sun was like, it wasn't like the normal sunlight. It was very orange and kind of a weird, eerie feeling, very ominous. I think there's very little containment on the fires at all, if there is any. So, kind of scary times down here in Los Angeles. But you know, if you have friends or family down here in Southern California, I hope they are safe. I hope they are okay. And, it's the people more than the things, right? Everybody I know there have been a few deaths, but the people that I know that live in those areas, at least they're safe. So material things, those things, can be replaced a lot, but hopefully everybody is safe and sound. I'm kind of locked in my house, trying not to go outside. I did go out for a little bit today, but I just watched a taping of the Golden Globes, so I've watched a few of those things. So as you're commenting, if you're please press the like button. Also subscribe. But tell me what you're watching during the off season. I mean, it's not football season. Obviously, we're going to watch the playoff games this weekend. I did watch Black Doves. I thought that was really good. I also watched Nobody Wants This, which was also fun. That's a little kind of fun comedy. Um, what else have I watched? I actually haven't seen Wicked yet, but I think I'm going to sit down and start watching Shogun. Shogun's one of the things that I think I'm going to watch that which got a bunch of awards. And let me know what you've watched, and maybe I'll check out some of those things. I also did read Matt Barrow's new book, and it's Muddy the Waters or Muddy Waters, one of those. But Matt Barrows is putting out a fictional book which takes place in a newsroom on the East Coast, which is very good. It's very well written, and I think there are plans to do a sequel. So fun stuff. I think that's it for me today. I'll try to give, kind of fun little updates as we go along. I'll try to do a daily. Even if there's no updates, we'll talk. All right. Hope everybody's well and safe and take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.